Hi, this is Carl with another Relax, Focus, Succeed video. And today I want to talk about sales, kinda. I want to talk about a particular way of looking at the sales process. You know, many of us have some kind of tool we use to get in the door. And it might be a free report. It might be a network analysis, a free presentation, you know, something that you've put together that will get somebody's attention, provide them with some value, and begin the conversation. And in many ways, that's the definition of what we're doing, but we forget it. we literally get confused and we think that the thing we're selling is what we're going to sell when we show up for that conversation. The reality is, the thing that you use to get in the door is not the thing you're actually selling. For example, in the world of network consulting, I very frequently would do a network analysis. Hey, we're going to check out the security of your network, make sure everything's working the way it's supposed to, da-da-da-da-da. Great. Now, here's the reality of the situation. Somebody might have seen that promotion 10 times, 50 times, 1,000 times, but one day they got in touch with me and said, hey, we want to take you up on your offer to do the network analysis. Please come into our office. Now, do they need that network analysis? Do they ever want that network analysis? No, but that's the thing I'm using to start the conversation. So why am I in the room? And that is exactly the question that you should ask. Why am I in the room? I mean, do the analysis, do whatever you've promised, give them the value that you've promised. That gets you in the door, starts a conversation, allows you to have a warm contact, you know, somebody who's gone from being a cold contact to being a warm prospect. And then literally ask them, so why was today the day? You've seen this offer before. Why did you invite me into the office to have a conversation today? And there's always a reason. Maybe somebody quit. Maybe they got a problem with another vendor. Maybe something broke. Maybe a need came up that they hadn't seen before. And for whatever reason, you were at the top of the mind for them, which is good for you. So it's a different story about trying to analyze, you know, which marketing works and what doesn't work, and which sales pitch works and which sales pitch doesn't work. That's a separate video. Today, what we want to focus on is the fact that you should not double down on trying to sell them whatever it is you came in the door for, right? So if you came in thinking, well, I'm going to sell these guys a contract, or I'm going to sell them a network tool or a monitoring system or whatever. Maybe it's a phone system, maybe it's signage, maybe it's lighting, whatever it is. Whatever it is that got you in the door, you need to just use that as an opportunity to begin the conversation. And most importantly, this is your opportunity to ask just enough questions so that you can shut up and let the prospect talk about themselves. Let them talk about their business. Let them talk about their challenges. Let them talk about what's going on in their industry, what's going on in their business, what's going on with equipment or personnel or whatever it is that they want to talk about. Because again, the thing that you use to hook them is not the thing they want. You know, in sales, sometimes you hear about this concept of a lost leader, right? We're going to give away this thing that's whatever. $10 here, you can have it for $1. It'll get you in the door. I'm not going to make any money on it. I'm just going to basically write off the difference as a sales opportunity, blah, blah, blah. Okay, everybody knows that's not the reason you want them in the store, because you're not going to make any money. The thing that you're using as your lost leader gets them into the store, and then they see everything else that you have to offer. Well, service sales are essentially the same thing. You've got something you're going to give of value. We usually give it away for free, or maybe it's very reasonably priced. And then you use that to start the conversation. And remember, the most important part of the conversation is the part where you stop talking and let the prospect talk about themselves. As soon as they open up to you and you ask the right questions and you write down the answers and you take some notes and you begin to have that conversation, now you can actually figure out what they really need. Because not only are you there for a reason, but the client, the prospect, may not even know what they need, but they know that you are the one who can help them figure it out. They may think that they need a certain thing because of the circumstances that are going on right now in their business, but in fact, it's your job to listen to them enough to find out what they really need. The reason that you're really in the room, because you didn't know it when you showed up, and they only think they know why they asked you in the room. And if they're honest with themselves, they will say, I don't really know what I need, but I'm hoping you can help me out. Remember, ultimately in a service business, the goal is for you to build a relationship based on them knowing you, liking you, and trusting you. Somehow you've done enough work to get yourself in the room. Now you need to take that relationship to the next level. Listen a lot, try to dig in a little bit, and find out what they really, really, really need. And it may just be that you can't give them the answer today, but what they really need is for you to sign a deal, to dig into it and find the answer, figure out what the next step is, figure out where they need to go, figure out how you can solve the problem that they have, whether they know it or not. The bottom line is, sales conversations are never as simple as sales training makes them sound. If you're selling a widget, then by all means, go in, tell them all about the widget, and you're on your way, right? Vacuum cleaner is a great example. If you're selling a vacuum cleaner, that's the only thing you're really going to sell them that day is a vacuum cleaner. But if you're in a service business, well, there's a thing that they think that they want to talk about, and then there's the thing that they really, really, really need. And again, they may not have the vocabulary or the understanding of your business enough to dig down and actually explain what they need. So go have those conversations, figure out what offer you can make that gets you in the door. And remember, marketing can never, ever, ever stop. So keep making the offer, keep making the offer, keep making the offer. And it's okay to make that same offer to the same people because they don't need you today. And they may not need you tomorrow and they may not need you next week. But if they learn to know you and trust you, then on the day that they do need what you sell, they will understand that you're the person to talk to, and then they'll invite you in. And your first question needs to be, why am I here today? I would love to have your comments and feedback. Put them down below. Make sure you like it if you like it. Subscribe to the channel. And I will see you in the next Relax, Focus, Succeed video. For Relax, Focus, Succeed, this is Carl Palachuk wishing you the best of luck in everything you do.